What's poppin', man? How y'all feeling today? It's your boy D Saul with another episode of Money Talk Mondays. Man, I'm super excited to be back on this microphone. I'm even more excited to give some tips that a lot of people have been asking me, right? They've been wanting to know, they've been seeing me and me getting a bunch of my buyers across that finish line to the closing table. So they wanted me to drop a little knowledge on how they can get better prepared to buy their first home. Before we get started, y'all, give me a second. Let me share this to my Facebook page. I'm actually live right now, so if you're listening to this podcast, follow me on social media. DSaul, Team DSaul. That's TEAMDSAUL. I go live when I record these podcast episodes, mainly to my Facebook group, Fix Your Own Credit for Free. They ask me a lot of questions about buying homes. How can they, do certain things with their credit? So if you're not part of that community, check out the link in the description and go ahead and join, man. It's free. It's a bunch of knowledge, and we get a lot of stuff done there. Y'all give me a minute and let me share this to my Facebook feed. Go make yourself comfortable real quick. I'm about to give 10 quick tips on how to buy a home. If you're watching this on live, you can click the link in that bio and you can download this full ebook for free. This full ebook for free for 10 tips on how to buy your first home for anybody that haven't bought a home and want to buy a home. We're gonna hop in about 30 seconds, y'all. Let me share that right there. And I'll share it to a group. All right, cool. All right, man. So if y'all have questions, I will be checking. I'll stop pretty much after every little point. If you have questions, I'll be checking the chat box and I'll keep it pushing, right? Let's go ahead and hop right on in. 10 tips for first-time home buyers. Let me share my screen for y'all so y'all can see it. And let's get it. As y'all know, I'm your local house dealer, D-Saw, realtor, and money coach, right? I help people buy homes. I help people fix their credit themselves and buy their own home, y'all. I've been doing this for a while now. Actually been working with credit since 2015. And I've been a real estate agent since 2019. I've sold over 100 homes to many, many families all over the country, y'all. I've been helping people forever. And with my new partnership with Credit Repair Hacks, I'm available to let people in on a free credit repair service, right? Credit Repair Hacks will dispute all of your negative items for free as long as you pay for your credit monitoring. So y'all check that out. I'll be dropping the link in the description after this video. This one is brought to you by Credit Repair Hacks, y'all. Credit Repair Hacks is one of the world's first AI-powered digital credit repair companies, right? They will dispute all of your accounts for free. Shout out to Credit Repair Hacks. Let's hop in. We got 10 tips for first-time home buyers. And this is what we'll be discussing today, right? We'll talk about the top things you'll need to be prepared to get ready to buy a home. We'll talk about how your job history is important. We'll talk about how you can monitor your credit score wisely. We'll tell you how to do the correct way to file your taxes. Also, we'll show you how to monitor your DTI, how to manage your debt effectively, how to save. We're going to talk about how and where to get a first-time homebuyer class. I'll show you how to research homebuyer grants. We're going to learn about mortgages. And the last but not least, choosing the right real estate agent for you. All right. So, yeah, let's just be honest here, okay? Buying a home can seem very scary, right? Because it's a lot of money for the most part, right? A lot of times people are spending, you know, tens, 10, 15, $20,000 to buy their first home, right? Now, while this is very true in a lot of states, there are programs and there are things that you can get that could, supplement this large price, right? You don't necessarily have to have a 20% down payment. We're going to talk about that shortly as well. But there are many programs out there, especially in Louisiana. I know plenty in Georgia. I know a few in Florida. Oh, actually, I know a lot in Florida, right? A lot of home buyer grants and programs in Florida, Mississippi, just all over, right? I'm connected with all 50 states, right? I can with my I'm now with EXP Realty, so I can service in literally all 50 states. So if you live in any state that I didn't mention, hit me up and we can talk about grants in your area. But right now is a good time to buy. I know a lot of people are running away from the interest rates right now, but if you think about it, when the interest rates were low, you had a whole bunch of buyers flooding the market, right? So when you have a whole bunch of buyers, that creates a whole bunch of competition. And the more competition you have, the less deals and the less incentives you can have for those homes, right? Now, I was one of the real estate agents that sold a lot when the interest rates were super low. I think the interest rates was in the twos, right? And one of my clients, I think she ended up buying her house with a like a 2.2 interest rate. Right. And while she got that house, she definitely didn't get any closing cost help. And she had to bid about $15,000 over the asking price. Right. Now, the reason for me saying this is because that's what happens when everybody is in the market looking for homes. That's what happens when the interest rates drop lower. Right. You have a bunch of competition, you have a bunch of buyers there, pretty much, it's like a tug of war for homes. It's a big tug of war. Everybody want, the same home, and then the sellers get to, create a bidding war, right? So this kind of defeat the purpose of buying a home, because the biggest purpose, we all love the pretty, nice, beautiful homes, but the biggest benefit of buying a home is the equity, right? You build an equity for, generational wealth. You build an equity to buy your forever home later on in the future. So if you're spending 15, $20,000 over asking price, right, that means you don't have any equity, right? Right now in the market, we're able to get 10, $15,000 below asking price, as well as sellers giving us closing costs to buy this home, right? And while this is important, it's for the people that don't really have a ton of cash, right? I just negotiated about 65, $7,000 for one of my buyers on Sunday. The seller is going to pay for his closing costs, so he's not going to have to bring that much to the closing table, y'all. So that's the advantage of buying a house in a market where it's not a bunch of buyers. So if you've been thinking about buying a home, right now might be a great chance. Do I have any questions about any of that? All right, man, we're gonna hop right on in. Okay, the top things you'll need to buy a home, you're gonna need a steady, reliable, and stable job history, right? Lenders like to see 1 year or more at the same job. Right now, I get a lot of questions with people ask, hey, what if I switch jobs, right? As long as you've been, consistently working for over a year, right? So if you stop the job and started the next one immediately, that will be okay. You're gonna need a solid credit score. You see it a lot that people say, 580 or better is good, but I like to tell people a 620. Once you get over a 620, you're able to, negotiate for better rates. You able to, feel more comfortable getting approved, especially when it comes to the requirements and eligibility of a lot of those grants. So a 620 credit score is what I recommend. Money saved, right? I recommend a minimum of $10,000, right? A minimum of 10,000. There are going to be a lot of out of pocket expenses that you may not be aware of, right? And I'll tell you about a few. Okay, you're going to have an earnest deposit. I told you about the buyer that I just got under contract on Sunday, right? He had to pay $1,000 down. Now you get that deposit back at the closing table, but you do have to have that money up front to secure your contract. Actually, your deposit in most states is usually due within 72 hours of getting an accepted contract. Okay. The next thing, you're gonna need 500 to $2,000 for you know I'm sorry, my bad, y'all. I'm going too fast. You're gonna need anywhere between 3 to 700 for a home inspection. Okay. You definitely want a home inspection because you don't want to get into a home that have foundation issues. It's gonna cost you 15, 20 grand right off the rip. right? You want to get that inspection. That's going to run you, on average, in Louisiana and Florida, where I have most of my clients at, it's around $500, right, for the inspector to get out there and inspect the home. All right, we're going to talk about inspections in a little bit later. And also a home appraisal, right? After we move past that inspection process, we'll go into a home appraisal, right? We want to make sure the house is worth what we're paying for it, y'all. So definitely buy a home appraisal, and that's going to be anywhere from $400 to $600, depending on your area. Okay. The next thing is going to be a down payment. Okay. Now I've got plenty buyers approved with zero down. But those are the ones with higher credit scores. Doctors, if you're a doctor, if you're in the service industry, I'm able to get you down payment assistance with those. For people that are below a certain income area, we can get zero down. There's a such thing as a USDA loan. I'll talk about that shortly, but that's also a good program for you to not pay a down payment. But a lot of times you're gonna have to pay that FHA 3.5%, right? Or if you got a conventional loan, that can be 3%, 5%, 10%, 20%. So you're gonna need that for a down payment. Now, this is not necessarily due until you close on your home, but the lender is gonna check your bank accounts to make sure that's there before they move forward. They want to know that you have liquid cash on hand to purchase the home that you are looking for. Okay. Another thing that you're going to need, if your credit report has derogatory items, that's okay, right? Lenders, from my experience, have been accepting a lot of clients as long as the collection and charge off accounts total less than $2,000, right? That's $2,000 or less worth of derogatory accounts on your credit report. Okay. Also, lenders don't want to see any late payments within the last 12 months. So if you had any late payments, in the past, just start today. If you start today and start saving for 12 months and, make 12 months of on-time payments, you will be okay. And the best thing about that, your credit score is going to severely increase if you go 12 months with no late payments, right? And the last, but the most important part of the process is your mental preparation, right? There will be many documents lenders will need. There could be many hurdles to cross throughout this process, y'all. It's going to cause you to feel overwhelmed at times, right? So you got to be mentally prepared to endure this process. Stick with it. Trust me. Each of my home buyers, after they got across that closing table, they told me all of it was well worth it, right? And it's important to keep an agent that's going to keep you informed while you're in that process to reduce your anxiety a little bit, right? You work with an agent like me in the Central Ave group, right? We do a good job at keeping you in the loop throughout the process. We have a transaction coordinator that'll keep you in the loop with dates, right? We have emails for every different stage of the process. As soon as we go on the contract, you're going to get an email about the deposit. You're going to get an email about inspection, appraisals, all of that, right? Just to keep your mental okay while you're in the process. We're going to talk about determining the right real estate agent for you as well. You don't have any questions for anybody about that? Yes, indeed. All right, so we're gonna move on along. Okay, so the number one, maintain a stable job history, right? For all of y'all that got this ebook, I'm not gonna read all of that, but I'll touch on some of the most important parts, right? Lenders like to see a stable job history. Why they like to see a stable job history? Um, Obviously they want to make sure that you can pay this loan back, right? They want to make sure when they extend this loan, sometimes $300,000-$400,000 loan to you, that you can make your payments for 30 years, right? 30-year, most people get a 30-year mortgage, and lenders want to make sure that you can maintain a job, so you can make sure that you're making all of your payments. Okay. Now, lenders like to see, like I said earlier, that they like to see a year. Okay. They like to see a year if you're a W 2 employee, right? What that means is you have taxes taken out of your check, right? If you W 2 and you get taxes taken out of your check, lenders like to see at least a year of consecutive work. Now, if you are an entrepreneur such as myself, right, you're still able to buy a home, but you're gonna have to have 2 years of your tax returns, right? There's 2 years of federally filed tax returns right? With a Schedule C showing your income, showing the income and the expenses that you had taken out of your business. So if it's anybody out there that's self-employed that doesn't necessarily get paid from a company, or you work for yourself or your contract work, if you don't have taxes taken out of your check, make sure you file your taxes accordingly if you plan on buying a home within the next 2 years. We're going to talk about that in another slide. Do you have any questions about that? Any questions about that? Okay, I'm checking off on the Facebook group. I know a lot of people have questions over there. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Next. Okay, so you're gonna monitor your credit score close. That's the second thing, right? A lot of times people ask, hey, what I need to do with my credit to buy a home. The first thing I say is check your credit scores. A lot of people don't even know what's going on their credit report, right? Right. If you got this ebook, you can click on that link. You can see what your full FICO score is with my score IQ for only $1. Right. Click on that link and see what your FICO score is. Right. The FICO is the most popular scoring model that lenders use to determine your credit score. I know a lot of people say, hey, what is my true credit score? Credit Karma says this, Smart Credit says this. What is it, right? My Score IQ is a FICO based credit score system that'll give you close to what lenders see. Lenders use a version of a FICO, an older version of the FICO, which is the FICO between the FICO 4 and 5 that closely resembles what the mortgage FICO score is. But the My Score IQ FICO score will be good for you to just check and see, get close to what the lenders may see, right? I always recommend Smart Credit, right? My Score IQ, you get it for $1. You get to see a quick snapshot of your FICO. But for credit monitoring, I recommend Smart Credit. Smart Credit is packed with all kind of money management tools, credit score simulators, right? You get a free 3 bureau credit report every month. Once you use my link, you get to see all 3 credit bureaus side by side. And for those who repair their own credit, this is perfect because it'll let you know if two accounts are reporting, different, right? And we all know if you got inaccurate information on your credit report, then you can definitely get them deleted once you dispute them. So I recommend Smart Credit for daily monitoring. Credit Karma is cool, but Credit Karma don't show you everything. Credit Karma don't show you experience. Credit Karma doesn't show you much of anything pretty much if you're repairing your credit yourself, right? You need a full itemized credit report that shows each line items. The more line items you see, the more chances you will see that, you have inaccurate information on your credit report and you're able to get it deleted once you point that out to the credit bureaus, right? Now, if you're in my Fix Your Credit for Free Facebook group, we talk about this every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we have a class to where we go through a smart credit report to see what's what, right? So, smart credit, y'all. If you got this ebook, click on that link. Monitor your credit scores. Credit bureaus bank on the fact that people do not look at their credit reports, so they slap anything on there. So, the number 2 thing is monitor your credit score wisely. Do I have any questions about that? Good deal. Gonna move on. Number 3, file your taxes correctly. Right. This is mainly for the self-employed entrepreneurs. If you're out there and you file Schedule C income taxes, do not write off all of your income. Right. If you want to buy a home in the next few years, lenders are going to require the last 2 years of your tax returns. And if you're writing off all your income, then that shows the lender that you're not making much, right? And you won't get approved for anything, right? They're going to look at your net income. So they're going to look at how much money you made and how many expenses you had. And they're going to look at your net income, right? And if you wrote off all of your income with buku expenses, then you're going to reduce your buying power because it's going to it seem based on that tax return that you don't make much money. So, consult with your tax professional. Let them know that you're planning on purchasing a home soon, right? That goes for W-2 employees out there as well. Consult with your tax professional before you buy a home and let them know that you plan on buying a home so they won't write off everything. This is super, super important. Tell your tax professional, hey, I plan on buying a home within the next few years. Please file my taxes accordingly. Do we have any questions about taxes? Any questions about taxes, y'all? That's super important. I run across so many people all the time that go to buy a home, have the perfect credit score, got money saved, but they've been writing off everything on their taxes and they can't get approved for much, right? Get approved for $150,000 home if they would have filed their taxes accordingly and withstood that what $2,000, $3,000 you're trying to get on that tax day, right? With your tax refund, like it's not really worth it if you plan on buying a home. So consult with your tax professional and make sure you file your taxes correctly. Okay. The next thing, super, super important, right? We just got done talking about buying power. So monitor your DTI. That's the number 4 tip on how to buy a home is to monitor your DTI. Monitor your debt to income ratio. That's what DTI stands for, right? Lenders are going to look at how much debt that you have, and they're going to look at how much income that you have, and that's going to determine how much buying power you have. And what I mean by buying power is what you get pre-approved for. How much money you can spend on your mortgage, right? Whether they pre-approve you for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, that's going to depend on your DTI. So keep your DTI as low as possible. I did a YouTube video, so go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I broke it down. I did a sample client and a sample income and debt simulator to show you exactly how lenders process your DTI, right? When they look at your debt, they're not looking at, how much debt you have from a total standpoint. They're not looking at how big of a loan you have. They're looking at your monthly payments. Only the monthly payments that's reported on your credit score. So if your utility bills is not on your credit score, on your credit report, then don't count those. So go, check out Smart Credit or My Score IQ. I'll leave a link after I drop this video. But check those out and go down the list on your credit report, and everything that's open on your credit report that has a monthly bill associated with it, count that, right? That's going to be your debt items. Okay. Now, for credit cards, they're not going to look at your total balance on your credit card. Just look at the minimum payment due. That's how you get the payment for your credit card. So go down your credit report, take out all of your monthly payments. That's going to be your debt. Okay. Your income is how much money you make in a month with your job, or, if you're self-employed. So you're going to take your income, and that's going to be your income number. So debt to income. So you're going to take your debt and divide it by your income. So whatever your debt is, divide that by your income, and it's going to give you a percentage, right? Lenders like to see around 36%. However, FHA requires, I think, maybe like a 45 or below. So it's a little higher and it's a little bit more feasible than conventional loans. So check out that video on my YouTube. I talked about it in detail, talked about how you could actually calculate your own DCI. I did a walkthrough. So check that out. If you have any questions about DTI, contact a mortgage lender. If you don't know a mortgage lender, hit me up, shoot me a DM, and I'll send you a couple of my favorite ones. I have some that represent states all over the country. Most importantly, or most popular, I have lenders in Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, and California as well. So if you're in one of those states, hit me up and I can give you some great mortgage lenders that I use for all of my clients. You have any questions about DTI? All right, cool. Gonna move right along. Managing your debt effectively, right? That's the number 5 way. The number 5 thing to do to buy a home is to manage your debt effectively, right? Like we just got done talking about debt to income. We talked about credit right before that, right? You want to pay your bills on time each month. Lenders are going to check your credit report before you apply well, while you apply for your home, and they're gonna actually run your credit again the day that you close. So make sure that you always are paying your bills on time every month. That's what lenders like to see. That's what's gonna get you that approval, right? Making sure that you managing your debt effectively. You want to keep your credit card balances low, right? I always teach my students to keep your credit utilization under 30%, right? Join the Facebook group and I'll teach you a lot more on how to calculate that, but keep your utilization under 30%, under the limit, right? Not only will this help you get approved for a mortgage faster, it also help your credit score to keep increasing, right? I tell the story all the time. I had a client came through, had a 500 and some credit score, only maybe a few collection accounts. I told him the first thing, he was still trying to see whether he should trust me, right? And what I told him to do was, hey, I know I'm a credit expert, right? So go do this for me real quick and then come back to me next month and tell me what you think. I told him to go pay his credit cards to a certain limit, right? He paid him, his score went up 105 points in just 30 days from that simple advice. I went on to take him in as a credit client, got his credit score cool, and man, they got a big $400,000 home in New Orleans, y'all. I'm telling y'all, pay down your credit card balances under 30% and watch your credit score increase. Do we have any questions about how to manage your debt effectively to buy a home? All right. I know a lot of people like to wait to the end. A lot of people like to wait to the end. So if you have questions, want to keep them to the end, that's cool. We're gonna move right on along to the number six thing, and that's save. Save money, right? We talked earlier about the out-of-pocket expenses such as your down payment, your inspection, your appraisal, and your closing costs, right? These are things that you're gonna have to pay for if you're in a home buying process. So save as much as you can. Again, if you're in that I fix your credit for free Facebook group. We're gonna do a video in class in about 3 weeks that's gonna show people how to calculate a budget and to show you how much you should be saving every month, right? Whether that's $100 every pay period, y'all save a little money. A lot of times you want to buy a home and you're not gonna buy it tomorrow or next month, maybe not even this year. So start today. Start today by saving $100, $200 here and there, and that money will add up. And make a promise to yourself to never touch it, right? Never touch it. Like I said, I think people should, save up. I recommend a minimum of $10,000 to be comfortable in the home buying process. That's if you get closing costs paid and you get some down payment assistance. But save as much as you can because you're gonna need it when you're going through that home buyer process. You definitely don't want to be penny pinching, right? You don't want to spend your last on an inspection, then the inspection come back bad and you have to cancel the contract on that home, and now you out of the home buying process because you spent your last 500, right? So save. The number seven thing to do for first time home buyers is to take a first time home buyer class, right? There are plenty affordable and even free home buyer classes in every state, right? If you need to know a home buyer class for your state, feel free to DM me, right? I got a list of ones I can point you to. Mainly in New Orleans, I know a bunch of representatives that offer these classes for free. I know plenty national organizations that do first time home buyer class, right? And even sometimes these first time home classes will get you a grant for your first purchase, right? So reach out to your local realtor, your local lender about first time home buyer classes in your area, right? These are good because it's going to teach you about the home buyer process, right? It's going to tell you, how much home you can afford, right? It's going to teach you about all of the different types of mortgages. They're going to teach you credit building tips and step-by-step details on the home buying process, right? These home buyer grants, right, depend on the home buyer class in certain states. So reach out, right? Reach out if you need to know about home buyer classes in your state. And again, if you want a copy of this ebook, I dropped the link in the description. It's absolutely free, no credit card required. Take this, read up on it, study it, and learn it. So when you do start your home buyer process, you'll be well informed. Okay, the number eight thing is to research the homebuyer grants, right? A lot of people don't know that there are plenty programs in every state that will give grants, right? I know plenty in Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and Texas, right? I can spit those out to you. They have 100% funded loans, right? I know I have partners with Regions Bank that, anybody, it doesn't even matter the area that can get you a grant for 100% funded loan. That means no down payment, right? If you got this ebook, click on that link right there and go to your state and find out the grants in your state that you could possibly use for your first purchase, right? The assistance can come in the form of a down payment, it can come in closing cost assistance, and even tax credit in certain cases, right? So keep in mind that you have to qualify and meet the criteria, but there are definitely programs out there for everybody. That's the number eight thing for first time home buyers. All right, number nine, learn about mortgages, right? It's good to educate yourself about the mortgage lending process, the different types of loans, what credit scores are required for each loan, and so forth, right? We're going to talk about a few today. One of the first a type of loans that were created was the conventional loan, right? Typically requires a 620 credit score, right? And down payments range from 3 to 25% down. Okay. Now, since then, the FHA has stepped in for a lot of people that didn't qualify for conventional loans, and they require a minimum of 580 credit score, right? That's FHA loans. FHA loans require a 3.5 down payment, right? 3.5% down payment. That's crucial, y'all, because with a $200,000 home, a 3.5% down payment is only $7,000, right? If you buying $100,000 home, it's 3,500. A $300,000 home is gonna be 10,500, right? For a $300,000 home. And like I said, there are grants that can pay some of that, especially in Louisiana. They have a FHA bond that'll pay, I think 3% of the 3.5%. So FHA loans are pretty much a typical standard first time home buyer loan that will allow you to buy a home for only 3.5% down. Okay. I told you earlier about the USDA loan. The USDA loan is another word for is rural development, right? It's typically offered in states with certain population measures, I guess. I don't know the actual terminology, but it's in the rural areas of states, right? For instance, in the New Orleans area, every area in the New Orleans area besides New Orleans, so Orleans Parish, Kenner and Metairie, is eligible for RD. So if you're on the West Bank, if you're in Slidell, if you're in Laplace, Chalmette, St. Bernard, wherever in those areas, you are eligible for a USDA loan, which requires a 640 credit score, right? A minimum 640 credit score, but the down payments are zero. You do not pay a down payment with a USDA loan. And the last but not least is a VA loan, right? It requires a minimum 580 credit score. You have to be a vet, and the down payments are always zero, right? You can, pay something if you want to, but all VA loans, if you're a VA, reach out to to get your certificate, reach out to a lender and figure out that process. But you can get a loan for nothing down, zero down with a 580 credit score. Y'all reach out to some mortgage professionals to see your eligibility for all of these different programs, y'all. Conventional, I'll go through it again. Conventional requires a minimum 620 credit score. Down payments can go up to 25%. FHA loan, right? 25% is too high. So FHA stepped in to let you get a loan for 3.5% down. That's 3.5% down with a minimum 580 credit score. USDA loan, 640 minimum credit score, zero down payment. VA loans, 580 minimum credit score, zero down. Okay. Contact your local mortgage professional and figure that out. That those are great programs. And the last thing, but definitely not the least thing that you should do to buy a home, the number 10 thing is to choose the right real estate agent. A good real estate agent can help you navigate through the home buying process with ease. Good agents will help you locate the right homes in your price range, negotiate the best terms in the contract, and even help you with the closing process. You should research and interview a few agents in your local area and let them know that you're a first time home buyer so you can get a better, more tailored experience. We are always willing to help answer any of your real estate questions with Central Ave. We specialize with first time home buyers, y'all. If you need help, assistance, or even just want to have a conversation about buying a home, I highly suggest considering me or anybody with the Central Ave group. We get things done, y'all. We get things done to the point where buyers are recommending all of their family and friends to me all the time, right? Hey, D Saw helped me. He helped me, start with my credit. He helped me buy my home. He even got me, down payment assistance, y'all. So check it out, man. I'm not saying you should choose me, but definitely interview me. Definitely give me a shot and see what I can do. Like I said, for all of my first time home buyers, they get real superstar treatment, right? Throughout the process, I have a transaction coordinator that will guide you on important transaction dates, getting things signed, right? Managing your relationship with the title companies and the lenders, doing a lot of that stuff for you, sending out all of your signed documents to all of the people for you. You have me where every stage of the process, I'm going to let you know what to expect, right? I'm going to let you know what we just went through and what to expect next. You're going to get tailored emails every step of the way. For every step of the process, you're going to get an email explaining the entire process as well as a phone call discussing it, right? I don't play by my clients. I want you to feel well informed when you're buying a home. Why? Because I want you to remember this moment. This is going to be one of the most special moments in your life when you buy a home. And I want to make sure that I give you that top tier experience. I want to make sure that you have the least amount of worry and anxiety as going through that process. Why? Because I want you to tell your whole family and all of your friends about me as well, right? My business is pretty much banked on relationships. So I get a lot of my people from people that I've already done great business for. I get a lot of my people from people just spreading the word on how these all truly, truly helped them. I'll leave a link in the bio for some of my reviews and testimonials. These are real testimonials, y'all, from people that you probably know, right? So I'll leave that. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Follow me on all social media platforms. I'm Team D Soil on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter as well, y'all. So go check me out. If you need a copy of this ebook, I'll leave the link in the description. Like I said, it's a $0 investment to your future. You can download this ebook for absolutely free. And if you need help with anything, just shoot me a DM and we can talk about it. We can schedule a consultation. I can see how I can help you. Again, I operate to be able to help in all 50 states. That's all 50 states in the United States. I'm licensed in New Orleans, I'm sorry, Louisiana, Florida, and Mississippi, y'all. So check me out. If y'all have any questions about real estate, if you have questions about, your credit, reach out. This video again was sponsored by Credit Repair Hacks. Credit Repair Hacks is one of the world's first AI digital-based credit repair companies, right? You go in with Credit Repair Hacks. What they do is they'll scan your credit reports, right? Offer let you know which accounts are negative, show you all of the derogatory accounts, and offer the best recommended dispute reasons to use for each account. And they will generate a dispute letter for you, send it to you to mail out, or they'll even send it out to the credit bureaus for you. I'll leave a link to Credit Repair Hacks in the description as well. Check out them if you have credit repair needs. And if you have any questions about anything, I do check this live stream, periodically every day. So if you watch this later, feel free to leave a comment, to ask your questions, and I will answer those. Right? If you got to the end of this message, I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything that you do for me. And truth is, life is about to get greater for you. Life is about to get so much more fulfilling for you in your life, right? If you listen to this message, this is confirmation that your life and your desires is on the way. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Money Talk Mondays, and I'm out. Peace.